Welcome to Release Your Potential Now with Jane, your weekly dose of energy, wisdom, and healing, where we explore how energy shapes your life and how you can shift it to thrive in every area physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Each week, we'll dive into practical tools, real-world examples, and quantum energy perspectives to help you stay positive, navigate challenges, and reclaim your personal power. Whether you're dealing with stress, seeking balance, or curious about the energetic world around you, this is your space for insight, growth, and transformation.
Well, hello, everybody. You are getting to see the background of my tiny house today because where I normally film and do this podcast is the internet went down, so I had to scurry back home. So this is kind of how I live in my tiny house, and I have a big blanket behind us. So welcome to Release Your Potential Now. And if you're feeling stuck, stressed, or just out of sync, you're in the right place. I'm going to be doing these every week for a full year, and hopefully you'll get some wisdom out of it. And maybe not everyone is going to be the perfect podcast for you, but I'm covering a wide variety of topics. And I want to give you some practical tools that you can use and also talk to you about some upcoming classes and find out if there's some interest in some of those, then I will put them on. So today's episode is extra special because you're going to be aligning with one of the most powerful energetic portals of the year. And we've got the Spring Equinox coming up on March 20th. And the actual moment of the equinox, in case you're one of those people that likes to get up in the middle of the night and kind of be there at the start time is 2:01 a.m. Pacific time and 5:01 a.m. Eastern time in the United States. So I'll give you a little heads up on that. And what is the spring equinox? This is the moment in the natural cycle of the earth where day and night are equal. It's a time of perfect balance between light and dark. And from this moment on until summer solstice on June 20th, which is the longest day of the year, each day gets increasingly longer until then. And then from the summer solstice on, the days starting to shorten again until the autumnal equinox on September 22nd, which once again brings us back to the time when day and night are equal. So the spring equinox is a natural reset button. And this was a good reminder for me because I'll be doing some of the things that I'm sharing with you today because I sometimes forget that this is a good time to reset. It's a beautiful opportunity for us to reset and energetically, emotionally, and spiritually. So if you're feeling stuck or heavy or just ready for something new, this is your moment. So let's explore what spring means in the energy world, which I work in, and learn how you can work with natures to harness and create a life with more ease. So think about what spring brings. And because I'm from Minnesota, I am reminded that spring doesn't always show up the way we want it to in Minnesota. So they still have snow up there. I'm in New Mexico, so we don't. So it feels more like spring. But what spring brings is buds pushing through the soil or trees blossoming, longer days, right? We're moving into longer days and a sense of freshness in the air. So energetically for you and I, this season represents rebirth, growth, and expansion. So the spring equinox is also called the vernal equinox. And this symbolizes renewal, rebirth, and the transition from the cold of winter to the warmth of spring. Across the world, many cultures have celebrated this time with festivals and rituals around fertility and abundance. And the last two podcasts of this month, we're dealing a lot with luck and abundance, so this ties in quite well. And it's a powerful moment of natural and spiritual alignment and lots of alignment with nature. which whose job on this planet, by the way, is to create balance for all of us. So this is a great time to think about how to create balance in your life. So winter is about going inward and resting, grieving if you need to for whatever. You may have had a loss during the winter that you're still dealing with right now. And I still invite you to not necessarily have to put aside your losses, but to start looking forward. What can you bloom? What can you plant on the 20th or even now to help you move forward into the spring of your life, even if you have snow on the ground? So why this, if we don't, so the key thing is if we don't consciously clear the energetic leftovers from winter, sadness, self-doubt, and heaviness, we end up dragging them into the next season, which is meant for opportunity. This is and forward motion. So that's why this is so important. The equinox gives us a window to realign with nature's flow and to activate what's next. So let's talk about spring cleaning, because this is a time that, especially in places where it is warmer right now, you might have more impetus to rake leaves if there's leftover from the winter, or just get the house more organized. But I'm not really talking about organizing your closet. I mean, that's a good idea also, but I'm talking about fixing or helping your energy field. So spring cleaning energetically means letting go of outdated thoughts, beliefs, and habits, and possibly releasing any emotional residue weighing you down, and possibly clearing physical spaces, as we talked before, that feel cluttered or stagnant. And I'm kind of a believer that the energy around us, so if I live in a tiny house, if I have a messy kitchen where I'm sitting, I'm looking at it. So I'm pretty good, not perfect by any means, of getting things cleared so that I can work during the day, that my bed is made and all of that, because that's an energetic, it can be an energetic block. And I have a little bit of OCD, so I'm more likely to do that than some of the rest of you. So don't feel like if you leave your bed unmade all day, that it's going to ruin your life. It's not. You're probably less bothered than I am. So this episode, I wanted to mention I forgot where I was at. So if you've been procrastinating or doubting yourself or feeling like something's just not happening for you, those are signs, internal signs popping up that you need clearing on these before you can grow forward. And so the whole idea is you can't plant seeds in soil that's packed with last year's weeds. And there's another thing that I talk to about my clients is when I'm working with them and releasing energy blocks that they have, one of the things I tell them is an energy block, a big belief system that you have that's absolutely true for you. I'm not saying it's not, but if that's truth can be removed in some way, whether it's something I do or something that happens within you, now you've basically taken a big tree out of your yard that is overshadowing all the good things that could happen. And once the tree is out, now you've got sunlight, the rain can get into your thought, the things you want to manifest. You actually have space in your energy field to put new ideas and new positive thoughts in. So I like to tell that to people because one of the things that's out there all the time, it's on the internet, it's in The Secret, and I believe big parts of that, but you have to make space for the new thoughts. And if the old ones are still getting in your way, you're in trouble. And so I want you to know that it's like having your file drawers stuffed with papers of things that didn't go right and all of that stuff. And you're trying to jam in an affirmation in the front and there's no room. So how many affirmations do you have to put in before it shoves the negative stuff and busts the file drawer out the back? Wouldn't it be easier to just remove those thoughts? So this is an idea of how you can think about what's holding you back and release it so you have room for the good things to come in. So one of the things that I want us to do this time is release any blocks, or show you how you can journal to release some blocks so you can manifest going forward with clarity. Because all of the things that tell you you can't do something, or that it's too hard, or what if you fail, all you have your own beliefs that are non-supportive. They block you from clarity. You've got all this junk in there that you cannot think well to move forward. So we're going to talk about the common blocks that surface around this. So while we're talking here, I'd like you to think about some doubts that pop into your mind right now. So that keep you from moving forward on whatever you want. So, am I good enough to do something? Will this ever work out? So you might have a strange urge to all of a sudden do some cleaning. And these are all thoughts that are rising to the surface for you to release. Whether you feel like you need to clean your house, you have a bunch of self-doubt. This is time that your system, your body, your intellect knows that it's time to shift. It's bringing this up to your awareness, maybe for the first time, maybe because of this podcast. So, and sometimes you have big blocks right before you have a breakthrough. So, some common things I find this time of year, we've just finished in January. A lot of you did your resolutions for the year, and now it's a quarter. It's March. It's been almost 3 months, and you haven't started on anything. So now you're thinking, ugh, I've ruined the whole year. Well, this is a time for you to restart. It's a time to take a look at what's holding you back and overcome a fear of starting over. This is an opportunity to do it. The universe and the equinox is giving you permission to start over. And you might have guilt around taking action, or guilt around the fact that you set your first intentions in January and nothing happened. You might still have some lingering grief or fatigue from winter or other events you've had in your life. And you might just be resistant to change. It's too scary. You've got your own reasons. Every time you've tried to change or do something different, it backfires. So, and that's okay. You're not doing anything wrong. These energies that are showing up, these doubts and all of that, are coming to the surface to be cleared for you. And this is going to be an opportunity where the energy, nature's energy in particular, is supporting you to make changes. So what I offer is, and I think I'll talk about this a little bit later in the podcast, is that anything you do that does not turn out the way you planned, the way you expected, is not a failure. It's information. If you hadn't tried it, you wouldn't have figured out what didn't work. And there are all sorts of people on there, that on the internet and elsewhere, and that have looked like they're overnight successes. I'm talking to you after 15 years of learning how to be a medical intuitive and a psychic and all of those things to help people, and have the courage to have a podcast. So just be willing to take even a baby step to try something new and different. And if it doesn't go the way you want it to, that's okay. Step back and take the lesson. What is it that you learned? You might have learned that I'm not doing that again. It did not work. But you might have said, oh, this was partially successful. What can I tweak in what I chose to do to make it better? So the way we learn and the way we move forward is the way all of us do, is by trying new things and being open to what the experience is going to be. So I'd like to do a little meditation, and I'm going to go pretty quick. So you might want to take some notes, or anyway, it'll be available through this podcast again. So if you don't quite get it, but I'd like to do a simple meditation to help you kind of sit back a little bit and identify what's going on within you and how you can maybe change that. And then when you're on your own, you can do some more journaling about this. And this is a good reminder for me too, because I do journal quite a bit. So for those of you who are not driving, so don't want anyone driving, you can listen and just turn this on later. So if you're sitting, I want you to get quiet and just close your eyes. And then you're going to take a deep breath in and then let it go. So you're going to put your hand on your belly and your hand on your chest. And I want you to take a deep breath in and breathe into your lower hand. That's your diaphragmatic breathing. You'll get a better breath, and then let it go. And just relax in your chair. Now just take a brief moment to think about the things that might be holding you back. What's your fear? What are you resisting? Do you say to yourself, what if I fail? What if it doesn't work out? Do you ever say, what if I succeed? That's a good question. Why are we asking, what if I fail? What if I stumble? Instead of asking, why do I succeed? So think of, after that, think of your next positive steps as an experiment. And if things don't work out as planned, you got information at least. So take note of what worked and try a different approach if it didn't. You're now going to visualize yourself standing in a garden, and the soil has just been tilled. It's ready for planting. In your hand, you hold 3 energetic seeds representing the intentions you want to grow this season, and that's this year. They can be anything: peace, abundance, clarity, new love, better health. Now gently plant those seeds into the soil, one at a time, and feel them anchor into the earth. Pat a little earth on top of each and water them so they get a good start. And say to yourself, I now align with the energy of spring. I release what no longer serves me, and I welcome what wants to bloom. And then imagine seeing the light, the sun, shine down on the soil, nourishing those seeds, and feel gratitude for what's already on its way. And even if you don't know what's in the seeds at the moment, this will still work. And then breathe again, do a deep breath, and come back. So I just want to let you know that if you want more support aligning this season, we are putting together a blog, a short summary of this podcast, and we'll make sure to put the information from this meditation into it so that you can have it in written form. And you'll have to go to Transformation Talk Radio to access it, I believe. Otherwise, you can reach me. The producer here has put my email in the chat, so copy my contact information down, and I will make sure you get the blog in case you want to release it. Anyway, so this spring equinox, I invite you to let go and begin again. You don't have to have it all figured out. Just meet the season with openness and let life surprise you. Next week, on March 25th, we'll be talking about signs, synchronicities, and spirit. Recognize the luck the universe sends you. In this episode, we dive into the magic of signs, synchronicities, and intuitive messages. The universe is always guiding us, but are we paying attention? And I'll show you how to recognize these lucky moments, trust the signals you're receiving, and align yourself with the flow of divine guidance. This has always been an interesting topic for anybody when I do it with people. So, until then, take care of your beautiful energy. Let your light shine. And remember, you're here to bloom. See you next time. It's Jane Phillips.
You've been listening to Release Your Potential Now with Jane, your weekly dose of energy wisdom and healing. Tune in on Transformation Talk Radio to unlock the power of energy healing and transform your life one insight at a time. Share this episode with a friend who's feeling stuck and might benefit from a little extra support on their journey. Together, we can create a ripple effect of healing and positivity, empowering individuals to live healthier, more joyful lives. Are you ready to gain control of your life and health? Then visit janecphillips.com to book a session, join a workshop, or explore how energy wisdom can help you heal and thrive.